Oof. Still very hot. Good morning. I've got a plethora of songs stuck in my head. I gotta wait the usual few minutes while I wait for people to get here. Hello. Good morning on my end. Not sure where you're from. Could be good evening or good afternoon. I don't recognize your username, so welcome. Oh. Canada. Okay. I don't think we've ever calculated Canada's time difference to us. It's not on my world clock list. So I guess depending on where you're from still. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's interesting. I posted on Patreon last night saying that I was going to go live this morning. And one of our fans from Australia, Mark, he was like, I have to figure out what time it is. And I know that it's a very early time. Oh, 9 a.m.? So then, yes, good morning. A lot of I mostly keep track of like Sydney, Bern, Switzerland, Tokyo, and Manila. Because that's where most people are from. I am surprised, though, that you're here and not my regular first person here, Scott. Wonder where he is. We'll see, though. If nothing changes. Yeah. Okay. Our Dimash week. That was a while ago now that I think about it. Although my sister did react to Dimash last Wednesday. I tried to get up a reaction yesterday, but when I woke up this morning, it was blocked worldwide. So it is what it is. And now I need a new reaction program for live stream reactions because my program's not working. No matter how many times I try to fix it, it continues to upset me and not let me live stream react, which is very necessary currently. I'd say we're big fans of him here as well. I wonder if he's changed his touring because I know that there was like earlier this year, people were telling us that he was going to be in New York. And we were like, well, we're from California, so we're definitely not going to be able to do that. But exciting for people in New York to get to see Dimash live. But I wonder if that happened in time. or if he never got to come here and perform. My coffee is too hot to chug. Not saying I should be chugging it, but all right. So there's like 3 of you here. Oh, now back to 2. Who knows who else is here besides you? It has been very warm. Yes, we have reacted to TNT Boys. I think it was, I definitely know that we've, or at least I've done the Jessie J, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, Bang Bang. That's the name of the song, Bang Bang. Let me double check what other ones we did, because it has been a while since we've done them. TNT Boys. Okay, The World's Best Battle, Bang Bang, and Listen. Those are the 3 different ones we've reacted to. Whoa. But yeah, California's been ridiculously hot. Not fun. So strange. Who knows, Bear? If this gets to 10 minutes and no one else comes in, I will have to end of the road. I'm going to write it down. Because it's been a really long time since we've reacted to them, so I think that that's probably a good idea. Ugh. Let's see how terrible my writing is since I haven't been writing at all. TNT Boys. Yeah, we have a rather large list of things right now because the last live stream, Scott, there you are. Good morning. I was talking about you because I was surprised you weren't the first person here. Anyway, we have a rather large list because the last live stream I did, one of our regulars, Shania, gave us a bunch of things. And that's why I wanted to do a reaction live stream. But my program still isn't working. So I was. Because I was surprised. There was someone here talking to me before you. Hi, Rafi. Is good. I hope your dinner break is also good. It's hot. I know I'm drinking hot coffee, but it's hot. Yeah, Scott, I was literally like, Bear was talking. And I was like, it's strange because he was the only person here. And I was like, I usually have Scott here. He's usually the first one. And he waits out that 3 minutes with me where we wait for other people to come. Dimash Jasmine. I don't think so because it doesn't sound familiar. We've reacted to him a lot of times by now. So I'm like, it's hard for me to remember every single one. Let's see. Oh my gosh. It's totally fine. Let's see. We've done Dimash, I Am Singer, Adiago, Love is Like a Dream, Love of Tired Swans, Opera 2, Confessa, The Diva Dance, Sinful Passion, Show Must Go On, Give Me Your Love, Daybreak, Ogni Pietra, Dimash and Super Vocal Group, Dimash My Heart Will Go On. Dimash Only You was a reaction for our patrons only, so that's why it's a little blocked. Screaming Idol Hits, Autumn Strong, Your Love, We Are One, Across Endless Dimensions, Salma Tua, Diva Dance at Best Dua concert, and then the one from last week. When I was reading through this list, We Are One, that Dimash reaction, that made me cry. But yeah, no, we haven't done Jasmine. He sang it with a virtual singer. Okay. Oh, My neighbor who drives a truck, like one of the big rigs, is starting up his big rig. So I'm sorry if you hear that. Um, but yeah, noted. Getting your car fixed. What happened to it? What's wrong with it? uh, yeah, you know, I think I don't remember if I saw someone else call you Rafi or if you referred to yourself as that at some point. I don't know. But I remember seeing it and being like, oh, that's easier. Because, yeah. So, so I just started calling you Rafi without asking. I'm sorry. But I'm glad that you're okay with it. Um, Bad gas vent tube, can't put gas in it. Yikes. You know, my very first car was my like I learned quite a bit more than I think you normally learn, you know? At least more than I think my friends know about cars because my first car was like troublesome. Her name was Charlotte. Um, she could turn on a dime. I loved her. But she like she went through oil so fast. So I just like whew. So I learned a bit about her or about cars because of her. I will say hi to my sister. She's asleep right now. So that's why she's not here. Today she's going to her apartment. But sorry, Scott. So I've never heard of that problem before and it sounds terrifying and I hope that it gets fixed easily and I hope that I never have to go through it because it sounds awful. Uh yeah. And plus car stuff is ridiculously expensive. And you know, Bear, now that I've like looking at my literal list that's on my computer that I started to ignore because I thought we did everything, the Dimash Jasmine thing is on here. And now I'm like, it's staring at me every time. Whatever. Ugh. I should really put in the effort to start making iced coffee for the morning because man, I'm so warm. I mean, granted, I'm wearing long sleeves, but that's because this shirt is new, so I'm sort of like wearing it in. Uh, Also, you definitely can't tell, but there's like slight rainbows on my arm. This is the first day this week that I opened my blinds. Like I've been leaving them closed because that's how hot it's been. Um, and I have my room in the house is like one of the hottest rooms because I have a really big window. It faces the sun. Oof. And so I've been leaving them closed and mostly haven't been in here because I would much rather be in the living room or the dining room where it's cooler. It's been interesting. I think California, not where I live, but in Death Valley, which is, actually, I don't know how far it is from here. I know that I've had friends who have gone, but I've never gone. And I do not plan to because it sounds awful. I mean, there's death in the name. Um, Death Valley this week recorded its hottest ever. And it was 130 Fahrenheit. It was 130 Fahrenheit. Absolutely awful. Am I ready for dynamite? Listen, I don't know. I mean, yes, I am. I'm very ready. I'm very excited. I love this vibe. In general, K-pop right now is in this sort of retro 70s, 80s feel. Like a lot of 70s and 80s sampling, like Monsta X came out with a song where, I forgot who they sampled. There was another group, Boyhood, who sampled Aha. And Take on Me. There it is. I was like totally blanking. Anyway, so K-pop's been doing that right now. Oh, Sunmi came out with like When We Disco with JYP. So it's that vibe has been very prevalent, and I was getting really nervous because everyone was doing it and BTS hadn't done it yet, and that's not the norm. Usually BTS does it and everyone follows. So I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen? But then I heard that teaser and I was like, this is the BTS difference. It just sounds so different. And also I'm just excited to have like really fun music. It's just supposed to be uplifting, so I'm ready. Oh yeah, and Cards come back. I'm pretty excited about that. Nadia recently got a Card album, and now I don't remember which one. But she gave me one of the photo cards from it because I have a double bias in Card, and she got a BM photo card, and she was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I've been listening to, or me and my boyfriend have been listening to, shoot. BM is on a podcast with two other idols under Eric Nam's podcast like network, Dive Studios. And we listened to a couple episodes, and BM is so funny. Like, it's so funny because he is an idol. He is literally an idol, but he is so LA. Like, that boy, he's so LA. He's so Californian deep in his soul that when he's speaking in English, it's like so apparent. Then he goes to like Korea and he's an idol and he's just like all cute and not Californian at all. Also, it's a different version of Jasmine. Okay, because the one I have listed is Dimash and Lao Tanji doing Jasmine. Yeah. But yeah, it's not supposed to get as hot as it has been. It's supposed to be starting to cool down, but the cool down isn't going to be very much. Like, it's a couple degrees. The hottest it was this week for me was like 105, again in Fahrenheit. So if you go by Celsius, I apologize. I don't know the conversion. And I mean, right now, why is my, okay. Right now, it's 8:18 in the morning. It's 76, so it's not ugly yet. But it's supposed to get up to 97 today. Ugh. And that's the coolest it's been all week. And it's only going to dip down. Oh my gosh. I'm like looking at the future, weather. And it's only going to dip down to like 92. And then it's going to start going back up again. I am not excited about that. This is true. BM is fine. I don't say that very often, so I wish I was better at it. Like, that phrase, like, oh, he's fine. Like, there's a tone that I'm missing because I don't say it very often. I'm not going to try. I don't want to embarrass myself for saying it. Another thing, in other news, I want to do our very first, I've talked about it a couple times on the live stream, I think already, the video concept of casual combos. Hi, Roger. Oh my gosh. It's been so long. I've missed you. Yeah, it's been a minute. Roger, it has been such a bit since I've seen you. I think it was the last live stream I asked about you. I was like, has anyone seen Roger? He hasn't been here in a while. And everyone was like, oh yeah, we saw him at Fourth Impact's live stream yesterday. And I'm like, great. Like, at least I know he's okay. Like, and that's all I was worried about. I was like, please tell me someone's talked to Roger. I know, I'm sorry, that's such a minute is like quintessential California speak. I saw, oh, I'm getting sidetracked. Sunday, I'm hoping to do our very first casual conversations or casual convo videos. I want to do another true crime case. I'm thinking about doing the case of Mary Toft, which, if you guys don't know who she is, just like, I don't want to ruin, obviously, the case for you because I'm going to have fun, explaining it later. But a basic thing about it is that Mary Toft convinced friends, family, and the best doctors of the time that she was giving birth to rabbits. So, very different from the first true crime case I presented on this channel, which was the axe murder of New Orleans. So, I feel like Nadia might be able to stomach this one better. I could be remembering it wrong. Maybe there is some gruesome points that I don't recall, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Thank you, Rafi. That's why I was talking about the heat. Great. I'm so glad you're listening. We've been doing I've been helping Nadia with podcast stuff and then just microphone stuff. And it's been interesting. She audio edits on GarageBand, which is just the Mac, Apple. I think it always comes the software that's just in the computers. And it's so funny because when I went to school in college, my focus was sound. And I took every sound class I could. It was not enough. My school just didn't have everything it needed for that focus, which is fine. I learned stuff. But I do know how to work and edit on the sound program that's industry standard, which is Pro Tools. And it's so interesting because she was like, oh, can you edit this podcast for me? And I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, but in GarageBand. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm sure it's going to be really easy to pick up. And she was like, are you going to be okay? And I was like, yeah, I mean, if all else fails, I can just import it into Pro Tools and then edit there. I haven't been able to really use, because Pro Tools is a one-time buy program. So I'll always have Pro Tools on this computer. And I haven't been able to use it in the way that I used to use it for school, literally importing so that I'm watching a video while I'm editing the sound, which is, I miss it. Oh, the big rig's moving. Yeah, my neighbor, literally next door, drives a big rig, and obviously it gets parked on the street. Okay. I'm so glad that you guys are listening to Nadia's podcast, and I'm glad that you're all saying such nice things. They just recorded their true crime episode yesterday, the day before yesterday. It was yesterday. And I gave Nadia a case to do, and I was really excited to help her with that because she doesn't do, she doesn't listen to true crime podcasts like I do. So I literally went through all the ones I listened to, and I was like, all right, what's going to be interesting, short, and something that Nadia can handle. I gave her the lesbian vampire killer of Australia. So look forward to that. So the reason I keep harping on the heat is because that's why I haven't done anything to my hair. There's no point. The humidity has been higher than normal. And sure, it's not very high for places that actually get 100% humidity. But in California, we prefer dry heat. So I despise it. And it's if I straighten my hair, it'll just get curly again. There's no point. Ah, okay. Rafi, I'll have to give you a new address because we canceled the P.O. box because it wasn't working out very well. And plus, I didn't really like that mail. That post office, that mail office, that post office. We'll find a different one when things calm down because I don't think I want to start a new one currently. We are doing our best to save the post office, obviously, because the post office is very necessary. If you live in the States, which I know the only person right now is like Scott and Raphael, or no, sorry, Scott and Roger. Um, Everyone buy stamps. We've already bought stamps. I'm trying to convince Nadia to buy one of the t-shirts. Here we are. Anyway, thank you. Okay. Bye, Rafi. Have a good rest of your shift and day. Whew. My coffee has cooled down enough to where I can sip it nicely. Oh, what a morning. So yeah, I'm very excited to re-listen to the Mary Toft case and figure out how I'm going to talk about it and also figure out how we're going to be filming it because, you know, I really like, you know, live streaming because I like the audience interaction with a case, you know, or with telling a long form story, but Nadia really wants to do it just filming it. So we'll see. I'm trying to think of like what else could make it possibly more interesting. So yeah, if you have any thoughts on how we can, because basically at this point, the idea is just setting a camera, us sitting and talking about something. In this case, it'll be the Mary Toft case. Like a lot of people do mukbangs, which is like eating while they do long form stuff. And I'm just not sure. Oh, that one we've reacted to. Salmatua. Love you too, Rafi. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, do we pair it with something interesting to drink? Like, and that can only be so many things because Nadia is not legal yet. Although, that would be kind of funny, me telling a case whilst tipsy. That would be kind of funny. I think the only person here who's, well, seen me do that sort of thing is Roger. It's been a minute since I've that's the thing. I'd love to be, you know, doing drunk reaction live stream reactions. Those are great. They're so much fun. And here we are struggling to get that stream up. I've tried so many different things with this program to get it to work again. And I think I'm literally, well, I think the next step is to delete it and then re-download it onto my computer. And hope that that helps it. But I have no idea. And plus, I don't even know what other program I could use. I'd have to like look into that. I'm getting twitchy with my studio headphones, earphones. The air turned off and now it's probably much cooler in the rest of my house. But in here, I can feel that the air turned off. And she says, well, she continues to drink hot coffee. It's like lukewarm now. That's one of the reasons I don't use this cup very often. Because it has a really big opening. So like, and it's deep. So it cools off. Once it cools off very quickly and then it gets cold and then it's not fun. But yeah, how's it going? Who's here still? I know at least Bear and Roger are here, but I don't know who those other two people are. I know I've now gotten 2 requests for new reactions. I genuinely hope. Do you like acapella? I do like acapella. We, in terms of acapella, have 2 groups that we react to. Home Free. Well, I guess yeah, Home Free. Home Free and this one that I still don't know how you're actually supposed to pronounce it. But it's like OG the number 3 NE. Yeah. But yeah, the live stream reaction, I will definitely, it's Thursday. I want very much to get that up and running before next week because I can't keep not doing live stream reactions. I miss them very much. And it's not like I do enjoy doing this as well, where it's just talking, but that is more necessary in terms of like if I have another person with me, like my sister, or if there's something that I need to talk about. Like right now, I had a couple things, but not very many. Like I wanted to talk about the casual combo thing, but that's about it. Yeah, I've definitely heard of Pentatonics. They're very big in America. Like in terms of America, actually, people, the general public would probably say that they're the only a cappella group because no one else has really broken the same barriers. Like I hope that Home Free does, because Home Free is really good and does music that I would think more people would be into. But it just really hasn't popped off yet. Acapella is kind of a hard space to pop off in, now that I think about it. I listen to a group that we've never reacted to before, but there's an acapella group in Korea that I listen to, and they do like this really cool series called The Evolution of Blank. So then they'll just like take a group and be like the evolution. The reason I found them is because they did a video called The Evolution of BTS, and they took like all of BTS's singles and just mashed them into this really beautiful song. And that's the reason I subscribed to them. And I've heard a couple more of their evolution videos. So yeah, I like acapella. Someone this morning, total jump in what I was saying. Someone this morning sent me a link to Fourth Impact's latest cover. And I was like, I mean, thank you. We are subscribed to Fourth Impact. We also are patrons of them. Rich Evans. So what's the topic? Like of today? Nothing really. Today's topic is anything and everything. You're welcome to ask me any question you would like. At this point, we're basically just like chatting because I went through what I needed to talk about already. And I mean, just dropped in. Welcome in. So far, I've talked about the video Tool. No, I have never listened to Tool. However, I remember when I was working at my last job, they released this album that was like, there was very few copies released, and like the amount of people calling and trying to get the album was crazy. Like, I think we only got 4 copies and they were already sold within like the first 5-6 minutes of us being open, and it was just chaos. So I know that they're a big deal. At least from that experience. The one from last year. I believe so, yes. I think that was last year. It's all very vague because I haven't worked that job since last year. But man, it was crazy. It was one of those things where it got to the point where it was like when we answered the phone, it was like, "Hi, thanks for calling so and so. We don't have that album." Like that was how many calls we were getting about it. Why didn't I ever listen to that album? Because I feel like when stuff like that happens, it's like you might as well. Ooh, speaking of music, I was on TikTok and there was this one person or one TikTok that came up my feed that was talking about like new bands in the pop punk scene with like female lead vocalists. And I was like, oh, sick. Let me check out a couple of these bands. So I checked out two. I liked them. Don't worry, it was just a reference. I liked the two bands a lot, especially the one, oh my gosh. Oh, I know what it's called. The band name is Meet Me at the Altar, and the at is like the at symbol. Fantastic. It was so wild because like I was surprised how small the listenership was and how much attention the video had. I was like, wow, these, you know, it makes me wonder like how did that person know about this band? Their their listenership was so small that I was surprised. But it was really cool because I started to learn a little bit more about them. And they're three girls and they live in three different states. So like a lot of a lot of their work, like, or when they do shows, they all meet somewhere, right? And do the show. But all their like music is made in completely different state. Like the concept is so wild to me. Like that's how far we've advanced to the point where bands like band members don't even have to be in the same state. That's crazy. Um a new band for me is 2010. 2010. I don't think I was listening to any small names in 2010. 2010 was like big names and not really super band focused. I think in 2010 I was more on rap and hip hop. So yeah. And I mean now is great because my my music repertoire is like just ever expanding into the world, which is great. I love world music so much. But yeah, it felt really nice to see some new um, or listen to some new pop punk bands because if like if I had to describe myself with like using a music genre, my presenting is all pop punk. Mine is getting more jazz, you know. My cousin, who is a creator on this channel, you see him sometimes. His name is Diego. He is really into jazz. And also his music taste has been really crazy. It's been like impressing my dad, which is hard to do. Um, like he just recognizes a lot of things that my dad's like, no way, and that's great. A Acapop Kids. That's interesting. I've never heard of them before, and I'm down. Pentatonics, I don't know if we need to. Like, it's hard to. I mean, we can. When I think about like, because Pentatonics is on a level of like big Western names. So like, they're right up there with Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Like those kind of people we don't usually react to, but we react to BTS. So I guess the line is just getting more and more, or it's just getting bigger. So yeah, might as well. I've listened to a couple Black Flag songs in my youth, but it's been a while. Ugh. I think right now my cousin Diego is into like Chicago There's someone else, and I'm totally blanking on the name. 24. I'm 24. Citizen Queen. Never heard of it, so I will write it down. Oh, there was a pen in here already. 24, however, my father, very, very musical. Oh, I should write down the Akapop thing because I am not going to remember that. The in my youth joke was more of a joke. Like, I'm still in my youth, especially in terms of our audience. I play piano, and also I sang for years. I hardly ever sing anymore, which during, or like a month or two ago, I talked about trying to stretch those muscles, I guess, because they haven't been stretched in a really long time and they need to be, or else I'm gonna lose it. But I still haven't, it's hard because like I just haven't felt connected to any songs in the terms of like singing. Like everything I listen to, I'm just like, I love the song, but it's not something I would sing. Hi. Yes, Dean, long time no see. I'm almost to the end of my coffee. I'm very excited to have breakfast. Listen to Tool. I definitely will. I don't know why I never did. Like, as soon as you said it, I was like, that was such a big deal. Why didn't I go into it? Do you mean suggestions? I mean, you're welcome to give them to me. You're welcome to give me reaction suggestions. I can't react right now because of the way I'm streaming. This is just like a straight webcam streaming. So everything you're getting is coming from my computer. My computer's wait. I definitely cannot react to WAP because that's not family friendly. This is a family friendly channel, so anything I react to has to be family friendly. And I have heard the song. Have you listened to Lateral? That should be your clue that I have not listened to that album. In terms of like Western music, it's been a while that I've explored it at all. Like, unless it's a person that I'm really into, like in general, like the rapper Kyle just came out with a new album, so then I listened to that. But like, yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't listened to it. But like that. So it's literally just, that's why it was so nice to look at those new bands, because I was like, oh my God, it's been so long and I love the vibe. But it's difficult, you know, because I do listen to a lot of other things like podcasts. And with music, I usually like to be driving, and I just haven't been driving very far or driving much. I should really just drive like on Pacific Coast Highway listening to music just for fun. Ooh, Citizen Queen is an all-female a cappella group. That does sound amazing. It's also been a long time since I've seen that. Like, music. Yeah, the evolution of music. Everything. I mean, music, fashion, pretty circular, you know? So eventually we'll just come right back around. Like I said, in terms of K-pop, like they are totally like across the board, tons of groups and tons of soloists are doing the sound of like 70s and 80s. And I was like, this is weird. Like it felt weird because I was surprised that that was like that's what they chose. It was weird. And I mean, I like it, but like it just took me by surprise. Yeah. I won't speak on that sort of stuff. Because that's not usually the music I listen to normally. Um, yeah. That's all I'll say. And in terms of like new rap, the only one two. There's only two that I listen to, and one hasn't released music in a while now. It's actually kind of been a long time. Mm. Is Chance the rapper and Kyle or Super Duper Kyle, depending on what he chooses to go by. Like Home Free and Pentatonics. Yeah, I feel like having a beatboxer is really important in acapella, which is kind of like an unsung hero of acapella because most people are focusing on the vocals, but if you don't have a solid the beatboxer makes the sound whole, you know? And it's hard. It is not something I could do or would ever try. No, that's not in my skill set. Mm-hmm. Like Dance Dance Revolution. You know, I'm terrible at that game. I think it's because like it was never super like none of my friends really got into it, so then we never really did it to the point where now I'm just like old, too old to like get the footwork. I'm just not a dancer, you know? I must be missing your notifications. Well, honestly, it's been a while since we've reacted to a K-pop song, mostly because we're not in that like sphere. Like we listen to a lot of it, but I think there's a certain group of K-pop reactors that are really popular and it's kind of like set, you know? We missed that like I don't know. We missed the cutoff for popularity in that sphere. So we often don't do it because they just don't do very well, which is fine. I mean, we get to listen to the music anyway. Yeah, YouTube has been getting finicky with notifications, which is so weird. Like, it's just weird. I won't I won't rant about that. Well, I will say one thing. It's weird because there are so many big name creators who are just not posting right now. So like what is clogging up the system? I don't know. Maybe maybe our notifications are just not going through because I can't think of a reason. I was gonna say because we're not posting regular videos as much and I'm doing this more often, but it's like live streams are very important for notification. That is true. The guidelines are also finicky. But that's why we're a family channel. Because who knows what would happen if we were not. You know. I saw a comment. Sorry, I'm going back to like the music thing. Gamer. No. I mean, I would love to say yes, but no. I feel like, well, that's not true. I was going to say a lot of gamers are like first person gamers, and I'm just not very good at like that sort of vibe. Yeah, I mostly just play story stuff like Pokemon and Animal Crossing and anything in the Mario universe. What was I saying? Oh, right. Music. I uploaded our Angelina Jordan reaction as like its own clip because it was part of a live stream, and we got a comment that was like, Willie Dixon, how did you know that name? And I was like, because at the time of the video, I said that. I said like, oh, reincarnate of Willie Dixon, and like the vocals. And it was just like a reference because that was the first name that popped into my head. But funnily enough, they're not up in my, well, what used to be my brother's room, which is now our like guest room. My brother had up, or at least when he moved out, they had up some signatures from my dad's past, and Willie Dixon was one of those signatures. And so that's why I know who he was. I mean, I do play games. Just like not the kind of games that are streamable, I guess. But yeah, I have played almost every Pokemon game that has come out. I've never played Minecraft, but I do have a cousin who plays Minecraft. And Animal Crossing, I love very much. Well, I mean, in terms of me, if I wanted to start streaming gameplay, I would need different equipment. I don't have the equipment for it for sure. And I feel like it might be kind of hard to get at this point. Like, it's hard to get a lot of things still. What was I listening to? Oh, my boyfriend listens to some gaming podcasts whose, oh my God, I don't know what their names are, but they're based in Canada, or at least one of them is. No, they got to be both based in Canada because I'm pretty sure they live stream the podcast. It's a long one. Like sometimes they podcast for like 3 to 4 hours. Anyway, they were talking about microphones and how right now it's actually very difficult because lots of people are starting to set up streaming or are starting new ventures like podcasts. Go Canada. New ventures like podcasts. And also there's just people who now have to work from home but present themselves and have good quality sound. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, it's probably a good thing that we were already doing this. Like we have microphones that we don't use for this. We use it for Nadia's podcasts and other things. And like, yeah, I don't know. A lot of people have been, I think I did talk about it once, that a lot of people I know have started, or at least like graduated, let's say high school with, have started doing stuff in this sphere, like YouTube, Twitch, podcasts. And yeah, it's been interesting to watch. It's just been interesting to watch. Because I know I've said that before. I know I've said it before, but the number of subscribers that we have is either very impressive to people or very much not impressive, like at all. It's very polarizing. Like you don't know how like my age, you don't know how they're going to react. Like if I tell my grandparents or their friends how many subscribers we have, they will be impressed. But if I tell one of my like acquaintances that I hadn't seen in like years or something, they might not be impressed. Rich, if you think that you should start streaming, start streaming. Definitely do it. Like there's really no reason not to. I guess the only reason not to would be if you can't take possible heat. There's always the possibility that you're going to have a hater very quick. Yeah, game streaming. Definitely do it. If you can get the materials and do it, then do it. And also just beware that sometimes people aren't nice on the internet. We've gotten those before. We've gotten them in live streams before. When we get them in live streams, I don't really get it. I'm like, what are you doing here? I was like, we're just here chatting with people who enjoy chatting with us. Why are you here? Thank you, Dean. Thank you for staying with us. We'll try our best. Oh yeah, no, trolling is nothing new. It just gets weirder. It just gets weirder. But yeah, like I said, I know, Roger, I cannot even believe how long you've been here. Like, it's so crazy. And thank you. It just popped up on my recommendation. This is Lovely Wolf, and we are just chatting this morning. If it popped up in your recommendation, maybe you watch a lot of reaction videos, would be probably it. Yeah, exactly. That's basically how we that's basically how we use the internet, is meeting new friends and finding new things musically. But yeah, John, I assume that's why you're here, or why it was recommended to you. Do you watch a lot of reaction videos? Disabled wheelchair user. Is Canada more accessible for wheelchair users? Because there are a lot of places in California that are not. You're welcome to share your opinion, Rich. For topics like that, I try to stay away on my opinion because, well, at least on YouTube. Because, you know. But if you ever find yourself on my Twitter, I'm sure you will see exactly how I feel about things. Art, music, and movies. Yeah, that's true. That's true. There is a lot of like distance from that now. Who knows? Who knows? That is true. I always wonder. Well, I could just look it up. I never really look at our analytics anymore for Lovely Wolf. I've been looking at analytics for like other things that we do. So now I can't remember what Lovely Wolves look like. Ah, Jollibee reaction. Sure, 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 sure. Oh my gosh, there was news the other day. Like, speaking of Jollibee, that I think I saw that Jollibee for like its US locations is going to be closing like 250 plus stores because of COVID, which is terrifying. I mean, I'm glad you're here, John. I mean, unfortunately, I'm going to be ending soon to eat breakfast and continue on with the things I have to do today because I've been here for an hour, which is our usual stream length. I say usual because sometimes I do shorter ones. Not very often. I think I've only done shorter ones like twice. Breakfast, yes. It is it's 9 a.m. for me. So I don't know where you are, Rich, but where I am, it is breakfast. Oh, it's dinner time. Yeah. So I'm gonna have breakfast. I'm pretty stoked because yesterday was my dad's birthday, and we got um me and my boyfriend went to this new, well, not new, it was new for us. We went to a deli that we had never been to before, and it was a German deli. And we got this really good rye bread, and I tried like half a slice yesterday, and I was like, "Ooh, that's going to be perfect for my breakfast." My usual breakfast lately has just been like a piece of bread, cheese, and an over easy egg. It's been great. I really like it. So simple, easy to carry, that sort of thing. I know a lot of you have like dinner time. Ah, Rich, you are also from Sweden? Oh, wait, no, no, no. Sorry. I always do that. You're from Sweden. That's great. See, look at I'm on my last sip of coffee already. I will definitely let Nadia know that you're okay. And please be safe. Please buy stamps. Uh, I say that because I know that Roger is in the US. I think you might be the only one, unless Scott is still here. I'm not sure. But for anyone in the US, wear your mask, buy stamps, vote. Um, and for everyone else in the world, I hope you have a great day. It was fun talking to all of you this morning. I'm sure I will be live streaming again next week, hopefully in a reaction setting because I want to very much. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all very much. Have a good day, evening, night, and I'll see you real soon.